Hi everybody and welcome to the channel. I am Richard. Today I'm gonna bring you back to the 80s. The 80s in Sweden. But it's not really the 80s as you remember them. I mean, you still have the big fluffy clothes and the big hair, and Michael Jackson is still playing on the radio, but you also have huge machines walking the earth, going around keeping up with securities and big factories now controlling parts of your society. I'm talking about Tales from the Loop. This is a pen and paper role-playing game from the Free League. And this one is quite cool because you do not play as the typical big heroes running around with swords in dungeons. No, you play as kids or more teenagers. You play as a boy or a girl between 10 and 15 years old in this world. I'm going to show you an overview of this game. I'm also going to show you all the content in this box. So let's just have a look at it. In this box, you will find a bunch of cool things. Now, this is just the starter set. There is a thick book with everything you need to get into Tales of the Loop. But this one is really a way to get you into the game in a fast and easy way. And you have in this box the Game Master book. This is really the book where the Game Master gets almost a complete story to use and get into the world of Tales of the Loop. The players should not read this one. And I'm really not going to show you too much of this because I do not want to spoil too much. Besides that one, we also have, well, the rules. In here, you have all the rules of how to play the game. But you also have a lot of information about the world. You have information about what have happened, what is going on, how is the situation in Sweden during this time. But you also have a part where you can play in the States as well. There is a pre-made place in the US if you do not want to play in Sweden. But I really advise you to start this game out in Sweden because it's made for it. And in this way you get into a whole new environment that you maybe haven't been into. This plays out up in Stockholm in Mälaren. And I haven't even been up there. I live down in Skåne. So for me, it's almost like a new world as well. As I said at the start of this video, you play this game as a teenagers living their life in the 80s. And you can create any character you want to, but in this box there are 5 pre-made ones. And here is everything that you would need to start your game right away. So we have this girl here, Maria. We have Tim or Timmy, Frederick or Chad, Isabella or Patricia, and Linda or Erin. The names up here are the different kind of names you would use in the country you are. So these ones here are the Swedish names, and the ones you have here between these situation marks are the state names that you would use if you play in America. In this beautiful box you will also find special made dices. You could use a regular 6-sided dice for these games, but well, let's just face it, these ones are cooler and they work better with the mechanics in the game. In this box you will also find a map. A big map over the actual locations in Sweden. This is Mälaren, as I said before, a place outside of Stockholm, and it is a lot of islands, as you can see. And these places actually exist in real life. Because as I told you, this game does take place in the 80s, but not as we remember it, because there's a lot of things going on in this world that did not happen in the 80s. And on the other side, you have the map in the States. So this is the place in Arizona that you can also choose to play out the story if you like to. So what is the loop? Well, the loop is a giant particle accelerator deep underground. And it's a twin accelerator connected to the one that is in the States. And Tales from the Loop, this is the game where you, as a kid, get to go around in this world and do different types of mysteries. A mystery is really just a game set where you sit down with your friends and try to stay out of trouble, but find out as much as you can about this world. And like I said at the start, you get a finished setup for this already. So in here is the story about the recycled boy. But this is of course only for the game master to read. In here he will find different information about the buildings you're going to visit, what kind of people are you going to meet in there, what kind of mysteries are you about to explore. So as I told you at the start, this book here is the lightweight version, but it will give you the rules you need to play this game and will get you started. In here you will find all the details about this world and what have actually happened. What is going on in the politics, what is happening out in the world. And the cool thing about this game is that you play as kids. You do not play a big fighting warlord with a sword running around, which means that even though the world is full of fantastic and weird things for you to explore, it's still an everyday life of kids. Which means that you still need to get home at night, you still need to brush your teeth, you still need to explain for your mom and dad where you have been. And the adults in this game, because there are adults, but they can't help you. And they won't believe you. They will hear what you're saying and they will even answer you, but they won't be able to assist you in your missions. You will need to do that by yourself. The game here is played out scene by scene, which means that instead of using a lot of time on the boring parts like traveling from a location to another, you just jump right in. So you could be home in your living room with your friends, talking and joking, and in the next minute jump to the location where you are actually supposed to go. And the world is described collaboratively, meaning that the game master lays out the scene for you, but he or she will ask you questions. For example, you see an old metallic structure, but what is weird about it? How does it look? What color is it? Why do we want to go over there and take a look at this? And then the group together creates the world. The artwork here is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, this looks like a photograph, but this is painted. And it's really beautiful, and it's a beautiful way to get you into the scenes of this world and just the feeling of it. How does it look? What is going on here with the big factories? And you have the old cars, and then you have the big factories in the background, making it just a bit weird, but weird enough to actually feel like this could have happened. The thing that is quite different about this game as well is that there is no initiative order here. You all kind of just agree on which order you want to do things and how things plays out. Also, the kids that are the main characters in this game cannot die. They can get hurt, they can get scared, and they can end up in trouble, but they cannot die. Meaning that they could break an arm or a leg if they fall down, and they could be attacked by these robots, but there will always be a way for them to get out of the situation with their life in one piece. Also, when you roll the dices, it does not end a situation. The situation keeps on going. It will just get worse if you do not succeed. Of course, the game master decides kind of what's gonna happen, but the players are always a part of the game and can make their own choices along the way. And of course, you also have skills in this game, meaning that the boys or girls in this game have different types of things that they are good or badder at. And the skills here are so cool because there's no magic, there's no fighting, there's no screaming loud to scare the enemies. This is kid stuff. You have a skill that is sneak, where you can sneak better than the others. And there's another skill where you're just better on technology, understanding how it works than the other players. So the skills here are really just kid skills that they're even good or bad at. So here you have the Swedish Loop, and you have all the information about what happens in Sweden during these years. You also have a scientific timeline down here showing you everything that have happened during the latest couple of decades. And on the other page you have the US Loop. So here you can read about everything that happens in US during these times. And like I said, you can use anyone you want to. If you want to be in the US, you could, but you could also just be in Sweden, that this game is actually meant to be. Or you could create your own place. You could take your own hometown and create it all about that instead. But that will take a little bit more work. And like I said, I don't want to give away too much about this book, but I want to give you a little overview about what it actually contains. You have the different locations that you can be in. You have a setup of the history and where you can go. And then, of course, you have information about what is actually going to happen. And as you can see in here, there are different maps, there's different letters, and there's different situations that you can end up in. And on the back, there's also different people that you will maybe meet. So this is all the content that you will find in the box. You have the cool little dices here that are specially made for this game. You have the rule books here for everyone to read. You have the book for the game master to read. And the pre-made characters with all their abilities on the other side. So there you have it, people. That was Tales from the Loop by Free League Publishing. They have a board game coming out about this game as well. This is the RPG, the pen and paper version, but there will be a board game out pretty soon. And I am quite excited about that one as well, because it looks absolutely beautiful. And you can get pre-painted miniatures to that game, and it just looks so beautiful. It's the same artwork, it's the same world. Check it out. I really encourage you to do that. But this was Tales from the Loop, the RPG pen and paper, and everything in this box looks so beautiful. And like I told you, this is the starter set. This is a way to get you easy and quite fast into the world of Tales of the Loop. If everybody in your group gets to borrow this book for like one night, you will have everybody ready to play. It's really just a little bit more work for the game master, who needs to read this one as well. But if you have been a game master before, it shouldn't take you that long time. And if you haven't been a game master before, this is the perfect place to start, because it really teaches you how to use the book and how to be a game master. So there you have it, people. That was the video for this week. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Throw in a comment down here below. Have you watched the TV series, The Tales of the Loop on Amazon? I haven't watched it, but I am really intrigued, and I want to watch that TV show as well. I am probably going to get my hands on the board game as well. I really like the way it looks, so take a look at that one as well. And if you like this channel, if you like the work that I do, please give me a little press on the subscribe button. It really means a lot for me. It means a lot for the channel as well. And until next time, please take care of each other and spread that board gaming love that I know you all have in your heart. Peace.